Hey, thanks for joining us today. It's time for you to learn your first 15 ukulele chords. Before anything else, a brief intro into the ukulele. So there are four main sizes of the uke, namely the soprano, the concert, the tenor, and the baritone. They differ mainly in size, number of frets, and type of sound produced, like if it's more high and jangly like the soprano, or full and deep like the baritone. The tuning is usually G, C, E, and A, but baritone strings are tuned as D, G, B, and E. To start playing, we can hold it like this in a seated position at about a 45-degree angle. The left hand supports the neck, and the right forearm goes over the lower body of the instrument. If standing up, hold the uke firmly against your body or use a strap for extra support. Now, ukuleles are mostly tuned as G, C, E, and A. We count the strings going up, so A is the first string, E is the second string, C is the third, and G is the fourth string. For me, I find it easier to remember them as simply G, C, E, A. But whichever you're comfortable with is fine. I tune my uke with an app on my phone, but you can also use clip-on digital tuners. Tighten or loosen the string according to what's indicated on the tuner. When it turns green, it means you're good to go. The fingers on your left hand also have assigned numbers so we can make chords in the most comfortable way possible. Index is 1, middle is 2, ring is 3, and pinky is 4. But for the sake of this video, we can just call them as they are named for now. Alright, now that we're done with that, then I think we can start learning our first 4 chords, and these are probably the most basic ones you'll ever need, because after learning these, then you can play tons and tons and tons of pop songs, and that's because they mostly use this combination of chords. The C major chord uses the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. So frets are these spaces between the lines. So for each chord, let's do a few down strums to help us remember. Using our index finger of the right hand, we strum the C major chord. Next, for G major, it uses the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers, so our index finger, middle finger, and ring finger. Our index finger goes on the 2nd fret of the C string, and then our middle finger goes to the 2nd fret of the A string, and the ring finger goes on the 3rd fret of the E string. So that is our G major chord. Next, A minor uses only one finger, and that is our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. That's A minor. Last, for the 4 most basic chords, F major. It just adds the index finger to the 1st fret of the E string. And then, just like in A minor, our middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string. So that's F major. Congrats! Now you can play so many songs and you'll probably never even run out. You can even play the 10-minute version of All Too Well if you wanted to, like right now. Now we can also practice going from one chord to another. So C, for example, A minor, then C again, then A minor. or F to G or F to G again. Just take your time until it feels very natural to you to transfer from one chord to another. Next up is the D major chord. So in D major, our index finger, middle finger, and ring finger are all on the second fret. So our index finger goes on the second fret of G, the second on C, and then our ring finger on E. And they are just one straight line like this. So we can strum D major, good. D minor uses the same fingers, but the index finger is now on the first fret of the E string, and our middle finger and ring finger are on the second fret of G and C respectively. So they look like this. It's like F, right? But the ring finger is also on the second fret of C. So yeah, this is D minor. For E minor, it kind of forms a diagonal line like this. The index finger goes to the second fret of A, then the middle finger goes to the third fret of E, and the ring finger goes to the fourth fret of C. A major uses two fingers, and those are the index finger on the first fret of C and the middle finger on the second fret of G. So it forms a short diagonal line like this. It's A major. You have already done 8 chords so far, and that's already like halfway through. Can you believe it? It's so fast. And you've been doing so awesome at each one of them. But this is just a very gentle reminder that it's okay to take a break if you needed one. If you wanted to stop the video at this point and just review and practice the chords that we've done so far, it's okay too. We can leave off the next ones for another day. But if you are still ready for some more, then we can just continue on, but please don't feel any pressure to learn all this in one day. But yeah, if you're ready for some more, then let's just continue with the video. Okay, continuing on. G7 is somewhat like an inverted G major. The index finger goes on the first fret of E, so that's the index finger, and then our second finger, which is the middle finger, is on the second fret of the C string, and then the ring finger is on the second fret of the A string. So there we have it. G7. Now for the E7 chord, we take our index finger and put it on the first fret of the G string, then follow with the middle finger on the second fret of the C string, and then the ring finger goes on the second fret of the A string. It's like that. It's like so. Let's try to strum. E minor 7 is a bit easier than E7, as it just takes away the finger from the first fret. So we can use the index finger on the second fret of the C string instead, and the middle finger on the second fret of the A string. So very similar to E7, but without the index finger on the first fret of G. So let's try. This is E minor 7. C minor chord uses the middle, ring, and pinky fingers to form a line on the third fret of strings C, E, and A. So we place the middle finger on the third fret of C, the ring finger on the third fret of E, and the pinky on the 3rd fret of A. Personally though, I use the index finger to the ring finger just because I find it more comfortable, but you can do whatever you prefer. So I just do it like this, but if we follow the usual way, it's like this. So you can do it either way. Now this upcoming chord I dread as well because of the space between the notes that you have to play. So sometimes I find it hard to transfer from one chord to another, but there are 2 ways to go about it. First, the index finger goes on the 1st fret of G, and the ring finger goes on the 2nd fret of A, like this. And the pinky goes on the 4th fret of the C string. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the C string. It's like this, right? It's like you're doing the rocker sign. But yeah, but a bit harder to commit. There you go. So that's the first way to do your E chord, your E major chord. Let's try to play. But the somewhat easier way that I chose to use is index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, like this. The middle finger on the 4th fret of the G string. The ring finger on the 4th fret of the C string. And then the pinky finger on the 4th fret of the E string. So they form a line like this, and you kind of have to, you know, because we normally do chords like this, right? But for this one, you kind of have to adjust a little bit so all your fingers are accommodated on the 2nd fret. So let's try to strum this way. For me, I just find it easier to put pressure on the strings as opposed to this one. But as always, please choose which is the most comfortable one for you. But for me, like with kikyam fingers, I choose this way. So yeah, this is E. Now for A minor 7, I just wanted to throw this in here because A minor 7 for the ukulele is literally just this. That's it. You don't have to put anything, you don't have to do anything except strum. So that's A minor 7. So our last chord for today is B minor, and it's your first and our only bar chord for today, the B minor chord. So we take our index finger and press on the C, E, and A strings on the 2nd fret. But for me, I just press on the whole 2nd fret and use my middle finger to support that. And then I use my ring finger to press on the 4th fret on the G string. So it's like this. Again, you can do whatever is most comfortable for you, as long as, you know, you're still able to press on the notes that you need for the chords, and it's easy to transfer between chords when you're already playing a song. But anyway, this B minor chord it comes in handy for quite a few songs as well, and is a good starter for learning more bar chords. So good job! Congratulations on your first bar chord. So that concludes our lesson for today. Oh my gosh, congratulations on learning your first 15 chords. Now, I know maybe when you clicked on this video, you might have thought that 15 was a lot, but you know, you stuck with it and you did your best, and you should be super proud, not only for finishing this very short course, but also having the courage to try something new. And so, you know, good luck on your ukulele journey, and thank you for proving that you can indeed learn these chords. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!